We're going to talk about the Ballon d'Or. Actually, yesterday we had so many people talk about the Ballon d'Or, and I have my reasons why I feel like the Ballon d'Or might be losing its popularity. Because we have had so many people criticizing the Ballon d'Or, and for obvious reasons, people have been like in support of the Ballon d'Or. The Ballon d'Or is doing the right thing, and what. But now it comes to a situation whereby people are criticizing it, and I'm happy about it because we've seen people being left out of the Ballon d'Or, not giving the Ballon d'Or the right people that are supposed to win it. And now we came to a moment whereby we don't know who exactly was supposed to win it. And again, the Ballon d'Or people decided to pick Rodri to win it. Yet, I don't think Rodri or Vini were favorites for this Ballon d'Or because if we see if we really like want to like digest what the Ballon d'Or used to mean and what it is being lowered to, I feel like Vini and Rodri shouldn't have been even in the conversation. The Ballon d'Or used to be a competition of what people mean to their teams, what contributions they do, personal contributions, not trophies they win. And I feel like Vini and Rodri were not supposed to be the clear favorites for this one. We used to see Messi win the Ballon d'Or. We used to see Ronaldinho win the Ballon d'Or without taking all those trophies. And for me, that was a Ballon d'Or that I used to consider. I wanted to see a Ballon d'Or whereby players play and they will be rewarded for their individual brilliancy. Vini is a good player. Vini contributes a lot, and Vini does a lot of things. But remember, in the same team, Vinicius plays. That was Jude Bellingham. Jude Bellingham last season for me was a better player, much better player than Vini. Vini might have won everything in the La Liga, Champions League, and everything, but also Bellingham won the same things. And if we go to the Rodri side, we know that Rodri wasn't the soul of Man City winning. We know he was good at midfield, but for Man City to win all those trophies, we know that Haaland was in that team, and Haaland used to do a lot. He used to do a lot for Man City. So I don't know how Haaland goes. Is it in the 8th or 7th position, and Rodri is number 1, yet for Man City to win all those trophies, it was Haaland's effort, KDB's effort, and we were giving like a lot of praise to the wrong people. Vini was a good player, but just if you look at the stats, they don't really like give out what Vini does. If you see Vini scored, is it 15 goals in the La Liga and only something like 6 in the Champions League? I don't know why it got narrowed down to Vini and Rodri, and to an extent that Vini decided to boycott the Ballon d'Or ceremony. I feel like the Ballon d'Or is not getting any popular because of the decisions they decide to make. How do you get to know that Vini is not winning the Ballon d'Or even before the Ballon d'Or ceremony? Now, what is the use of the ceremony? We want to know who is going to win, but every time we go to a Ballon d'Or ceremony and we already know who is winning it doesn't make sense to me. I feel like the Ballon d'Or, since it has stood its time, it should be changed. I feel like it's losing meaning. We are getting people selected for the Ballon d'Or for the wrong reasons. We no longer have that flair whereby we used to know Ronaldinho is going to compete with this. We no longer have the likes of Kakas who won the Ballon d'Or. Okay, with individual brilliance, not only goals, not only what they are winning as a team, but individual brilliance in what they contribute to the team. People like, I don't know, what was Mbappe doing in the, is it 5th position? What was he doing in that position? How was Mbappe better than Haaland? How was Mbappe better than even Saka? Because last season we all know that Mbappe played trash at PSG. How was he being considered for the Ballon d'Or? Someone explain to me why the Ballon d'Or was given to Rodri and not Lautaro Martinez. This guy scored almost 35 goals last season. Rodri had only 8. Lautaro Martinez won everything except the Champions League. He won the home league in Italy, the Serie A. He won the other trophy for Argentina. He was the MVP in that trophy. So how was Rodri picked? What was the criteria? Was it being that he was it there was the reason that he was playing for a popular league, which is the Premier League? Why of all people would you why of all people would you rate Foden in number 11 and Palmer in number 24? What did what did Rod what did Foden do better than Palmer? I feel like this year's Ballon d'Or was a joke, and they don't rate it anyhow. Anyway, back to my point. This year the Ballon d'Or, this year's Ballon d'Or was just a mess, and I think the Ballon d'Or should be scrapped, and at least they should rename it, because we are getting tired of Ballon d'Ors that are not Ballon d'Ors. People are getting fed up of being cheated. People, you can see it from the whole Madrid team decided to boycott a Ballon d'Or where they had even the best coach win, but they decided to boycott. I'm even wondering how did they even when they were taking the picture for the best team in the world, how did they even take it? Because the members that were supposed to be in that team didn't even appear. So for me, I feel like this Ballon d'Or has had like a lot of corruption in it. We should get another trophy whereby all professional players should gather and celebrate. Actually, the Ballon d'Or, one of the Ballon d'Ors that I feel like appeared to be like this one was the Ballon d'Or of 2003, where Thierry Henry wasn't given like a Ballon d'Or in circumstances like this. By then, when you would speak, people would say, you're speaking because you're an Arsenal fan, you're in. But right now, I feel like enough is enough. The Ballon d'Or has lost its meaning. Please scrap the Ballon d'Or and let's have something new. Let's have something that has a criteria which people understand. The Ballon d'Or is wasted. The Ballon d'Or is done. And one of the things that shows you that the Ballon d'Or wasn't that fair, they didn't have any grounds for the Ballon d'Or winner. Okay, when it comes to trophies, we know that if it was about trophies, why was this Madrid defender Carvajal, the one that was in the fourth position, why was he in the fourth position? Because for me, he won everything. He won the Europe, he won the Euros, he won Champions League, he won the La Liga, he won everything. He should have taken it if it was about the number of trophies collected by an individual person. And the other thing is, why would you put Lautaro Martinez in the 7th place? Someone that has won almost everything, and you put him in the 7th place. I still feel like this Ballon d'Or was the biggest joke of all times. Comment below, tell me what disappointed. Okay, go through all the players, all the 50 players that were mentioned in the Ballon d'Or list and their positions. You'll just look at things and just laugh out your lungs. I don't know whether these people just come out of the blue and start giving positions. There is no way you're going to tell me that Palmer wasn't better than Foden. Palmer wasn't better than Mbappe. That didn't. I really don't know. Why was Mbappe in the fifth position? Why? Did you want to just keep him near to the Ballon d'Or winners? Because last season we all know that Mbappe was useless to PSG. He won. Okay, they may have won the home league, but Mbappe's contribution was zero. Let's go to actually in a team. If we are rating teams, people that had good performances, we had Witz, Florian Witz, that the guy from Leverkusen. We had Granit Xhaka. And those guys had 4 positions. I was even wondering. The only thing they didn't win was the Europa, I think. And they were rated behind players that we couldn't even imagine. People that didn't lose games. I thought these were the people that were going to make the first 10. We were going to be in the first 11. But how many players did Leverkusen have in the first 11 of the Ballon d'Or? How many Madrid players were in the first 11? Me, I feel like this Ballon d'Or ceremony should be scrapped. It should be renamed because it has lost meaning. You can't even invite a whole team, a Madrid team that had most of your players in the first 11. This was the joke of all times, and it should never happen. Never. You know, those times we used to cry about Messi and Ronaldo. Why are they being given the Ballon d'Ors and there are any other players? This is the time whereby we get to know the answer is that the Ballon d'Or, it is not that they didn't have other players, but they were just confused individuals that were just hiding behind Messi and Ronaldo. Because just imagine what they did today if they had done that 10 years ago. Right now they wouldn't have a Ballon d'Or. You can't tell me we have had mistakes like the Lewandowski one and we kept quiet. The one last year, we kept quiet. And now we are having Rodri win a Ballon d'Or. Rodri. No wonder. The Ballon d'Or winner came when he was even injured. I read a comment today and someone was mocking Rodri. How did he sleep? How did he sleep without with the stolen Ballon d'Or? And that was the comment that made my day. How do you give Rodri a Ballon d'Or and yet he goes back to the same team and says Haaland, the one we call a goal machine, without a Ballon d'Or? How do you convince Rodri that he's the best player in the world, yet he knows he has KDB in the same team with him? How do you convince Rodri that he is the best player in the world, and yet he's on the national team? He knows there is Yamal on the same team that made things happen. How do you convince Rodri that he's the best player in the world, and yet he knows that they won the Euros without him? Okay, he might have contributed, but they were failing to win the Euros till he was removed from the game. That's when the game started flowing. How do you convince Rodri that he's the best player in the world, yet he was being benched by Partey? How do you convince Mbappe that he was number 5, and yet he also knows that he was useless at PSG? How do you explain to Lautaro Martinez that he wasn't among the first 3 yet he won everything? I feel like they should scrap the Ballon d'Or. They should rename the Ballon d'Or, and they should hire professionals, and they should stop using bloggers to make a name. You don't tell me that the Ballon d'Or ceremony is tomorrow and today we already know who is going to win it. That was so unfair. Please don't repeat that again for the next Ballon d'Or.